Hey folks, I just want to remind you to check out my eBay store at SeemsGoodMagic.com for some playsets and singles. I also want to remind you to check out live stream times, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. Central Time. And also follow us on Twitter at SeemsGoodMagic. Thanks, and enjoy the video. Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here for another Theros Swiss draft. Good pack. We've got Colossus of Akros, which is not the pick. I think the pick here is either Lightning Strike or Heliod's Emissary. And I think we're actually going to go with the Emissary on this one. It's uncommon. It's, I believe, the best Emissary. And although Lightning Strike is very strong, and I like it a lot, I think the Emissary is going to pan out better for us ultimately. It's more versatile and just really abusable. So I like it a lot. We're going to first pick that. What are we hoping to wheel? Possibly Ray of Dissolution, but can't get my hopes up too much. And maybe the Opaline Unicorn, Voyaging Satyr, something like that. Second pick, we've got Nessian Asp, Time to Feed, Mogi's Marauder, Horizon Scholar. A lot of good picks. Which card am I the biggest fan of? I don't know. It's actually a legitimate question. I might be Nessian Asp. I've got just a super soft spot for this card. 4/5 reach for 5 with Monstrosity. Just a lot going on with this card. Very deep. Good blocker, good attacker, good late game. Time to Feed, of course, good removal. Green-white's good, though. I do like green-white. Mogi's Marauder is, of course, very strong if you can make some sort of gray merchant deck work. But I don't know. I think I'm sold on my. I've just got a preference for this Nessian Asp. I do like Horizon Scholar a lot too, and blue-white has some interesting card combinations in here. But I think I'm just gonna go with the Asp. I just love this card. Okay, next. Let's see. Feral Invocation, Keepsake Gorgon. Wow. Gorgon might be the pick here. Feral Invocation is very good, but Gorgon is just obviously better. So I may regret passing that Mogi's Marauder. Let's just take the Keepsake Gorgon. It's early. Let's establish where we're at. Figure things out. Okay. Follow-up pick. Got Observant Alcid, Tormented Hero, Scholar of Athreos. Yeah, I mean, for black-white, that would work. Fade into Antiquity, obviously good. I think we want this Observant guy. I never really get a chance to play this card, and I like it a lot. So I think I'm going to take Observant Alcid. Just slightly more versatile than the Scholar of Athreos, which would work well in this, but we might still be making this work. So it really depends on these next few picks here. Okay. Burnished Heart? Yeah, I think that's the pick. Otherwise, Battle-Wise Valor is indeed a trick. And Return Centaur is playable. Let's take the Burnished Heart. Let's get some crazy color action going on here. Alright, picks now. We've got Disciple of Phenax, which works well with the Keepsake Gorgon. Or Savage Surge, Leonin Snarecaster, Afara's Warden, Vanquish the Foul. Actually, plenty of playable cards in here for us. Disciple, obviously better if we make some sort of Gray Merchant deck work, which is possible. I just like Disciple in general. Gets your Black Devotion going for other cards as well. Really regret passing that Mogus now for the Asp. I'm going to go with Disciple. Then we get past the nice Chronicler. Interesting. I mean, I'm not going to be sad going 3-color, so why don't we just take the Chronicler. Oh, wow. Alright. Erebus's Emissary. Obviously quite good. The more bestow, the merrier. And we're in white, too, so this could work out for us. Yeah. Easily taking the Emissary here. Viper's Kiss, but we wanted that Ray of Dissolution on the round, so happily take that. Very main deckable in this format. March of the Returned is playable. Stephenson Battle Priest is also playable. And we have all the bestow in the world, so I guess we could go that route. Well, we would have gotten one anyway, but alright. What's better, the 2-drop or the expensive removal? Well, we don't have any removal right now, so I guess I could play Flamecast Wheel. Alright, loathsome. So loathsome. Whatever. Okay. Yeah. Presumably we are black-white. Could still go into green-white as well. But I think, if anything, we're definitely white. I like our white picks the most. Gift of Mortality, you say? Interesting. Alright, what else we got? Another Ray of Dissolution, which wheeled last time. Nylea's Disciple if we go green, but I don't know. I guess I'm starting to get... I like our black more than our green currently, so why don't we focus on that if possible. We can take Baleful Eidolon, but I think I actually want the Lash of the Whip. Yeah, I think that's where we want to be. Get that removal. Follow up pick. Hey, Spear of Heliod. Well, definitely taking that. Very strong card. Makes me wish I had a little more life gain now, though, admittedly. Life gain and Spear of Heliod go remarkably well together, but Spear is just an awesome card. Happily taking that here. And passing a couple other good cards, but nothing up to the quality of Spear, for our deck especially. Alright, we can take Sip of Hemlock, get even more removal, but Divine Verdict is 2 cheaper, which is significant. A little more narrow, I admit, but I think the 2 mana cheaper and in our more prominent color makes more sense to me. So let's take Divine Verdict. Alright, I think we can start cutting green finally. Alright, well, could have had a Mogus, whatever that guy's name is, but I passed him. Hey, look at that. Got rewarded. So we're going to take the Mogus now. Absolutely. Over the Scholar. And the Last Breath. So, awesome. Happy to see that. Oh, cool. Sentry of the Underworld. Well, if there was any deck that you would want to play Sentry of the Underworld in, I believe it would be the black-white value deck. So, oh, Anger of the Gods? Well, I want the Sentry. I don't think Anger's worth much. It probably isn't, but we got to make sure. Because this is a Swiss draft, so things aren't worth anything. 1 ticket. Alright. Well, that's certainly not enough to take it, so let's go with Sentry here. Get the good pick. Kind of relieved, actually. I did say earlier that I wanted some life gain, and we actually do have life gain in the double Stephenson Battle Priest, so Spear of Heliod and these guys presumably works well. Wow, rewarded. Get a second Sentry of the Underworld. Admittedly, a Crow and Horse works pretty well with your Spear of Heliod. You're getting 2/2 soldiers every turn. That's pretty good, but I think this Sentry is still the pick. This card's awesome. Regenerator with Flying and Vigilance. It's a lot of good qualities to that card. A Crow and Horse is rare, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, a Crow and Horse does work better with Spear of Heliod. Admittedly, it's a little slow. I'm going with the Sentry. I think that's close either way. Alright, happily take an Evangel here. Evangel is still very good with the Spear. And we don't really have much else in here. March of the Return, but we can actually play Evangel. Alright, let's take the Blood Toll Harpy, get another creature. It's a flyer. Does things. Otherwise, Boon of Erebus is a trick. That's actually pretty good with the Battle Priest. Cancels out that losing the life, but let's take the Blood Toll Harpy. I like to have a good amount of creatures. Okay, we could take a second Ray of Dissolution, but I think we're going to take the Baleful Eidolon here. We're going to diversify a bit, get some more Bestow. Alright, Disciple seems pretty good. More relevant than anything else in here, to be sure. Alright, let's take a second Blood Toll Harpy. I'm okay with that. So we're at 22 cards at the moment. Don't think we're going to main deck the Yoked Ox at the very least. Alright, what's our first cut? We should start being conscious of this. I'm not sure we're going to need Burnished Heart, but I do like that it's ramp in a pinch, and it gets us towards our keepsake Gorgon. Let's cut the Loathsome Cato Blay Pass, whatever his stupid name is. We do look like we're a pretty healthy mix of white and black, and actually we almost look more black than white now. So that's interesting. Stephenson Battle Priests, even though we do have the spear, not really that necessary. So they're probably my next cut, and the Flamecast Wheel as well. So I'd like to increase my creature quality a tad bit. Let's take the Viper's Kiss for sideboard. I mean, Philosopher's fine, but this is a mid-range format, and I just like having the 3, 4, 5 drops filled and not really worry too much about my 2 drops. Alright, well, we have Yoked Ox for days. Yoked Oxen for days. Temple of Mystery, I see. Alright, what else do we have? We have Divine Verdict, which I think is actually the pick. Thassa's Emissary, of course, good, but not for us. And nothing else really standing out for us either. So Divine Verdict is good removal. Okay, we can do Prowler's Helm. We actually have a decent amount of flyers already. I like Gafara's Warden. I think this card doesn't get the best reputation, but it's another 4-drop, which is kind of awkward, just because we already have so many 4-drops. So perhaps Boon is the right choice here. It's a combat trick. It's not amazing. It probably wheels, actually. So what? What does that mean? I don't even really... See, the problem is I don't even really like Prowler's Helmet all that much in this deck. We pretty much evade past everything he's got anyway, you know? I think I am going to take the Warden and probably wheel the Boon. Alright, Read the Bones is phenomenal. Definitely taking Read the Bones here. I like Sip of Hemlock too, but we want that card advantage all day. Alright, we can take the Scholar here, actually. Wow, Dauntless Onslaught is very good. This card is very strong. Even if you don't have Heroic, double combat trick can do some really nasty things. We haven't been wheeling this at all, though, and I really do want one for the deck at least. I think it could do some... It's just an awesome mana sink. It's nice to have a mana sink. I guess we already do have a couple, but can't hurt to have another one. I think Dauntless Onslaught is insane, though. It's a mighty combat trick. Challenging. I'm going to take the Scholar, just because we haven't been wheeling him. Okay, we can take the Tormented Hero here pretty happily. So let's start making some cuts. Flamecast Wheel's gone. Probably cutting the Battle Priests. Alright. Decorated Griffin, what do you do again? I never play this card. Alright. It's kind of a cool one. We've got 17 creatures already. Let's get our second Lash. Titan. Interesting. Alright. Second, Read the Bones. Absolutely. Grey Merchant. What the hell are you doing this late? Yes, please. Scourge Mark. Playable. We're at 27. Alright, let's make some cuts. Let's cut the Burnished Heart. Probably don't need it. Let's cut Probably don't need to main deck the Warden either. Maybe we don't need the Evangel. We actually don't have that much to pump the Evangel, which makes me like it a lot less. It is good with the Spear, admittedly. But if you look, we're actually super low on white permanents. He just seems kind of awkward. So this deck seems a bit strange, but certainly playable. Ended up going almost mono black, which is strange. Let's take the Boon here, although presumably not playing that either. Maybe we don't play the Scourge Mark in here. Not necessary. Alright. This is a kind of strange deck, but it looks fine. A lot of bestow. A lot of good value. Good removal. Read the Bones with the Disciples is nice. So we're drawing cards and they're, losing cards. How much life loss stuff do we have? We have the double Read the Bones, double Blood Toll Harpy. So that is a significant amount of life loss, but we have life gain in Gray Merchant and Scholar. And this is life loss too. Jeez. We actually have quite a bit of life loss. This guy can still be played as like a 5-mana 3/3 flying Vigilance most of the time. You don't have to regen it, Am I playing any of these? Presumably no. So why don't we just hate the Portent, which gets really annoying sometimes. I think this deck looks good. I like it like this. Third Blood Toll Harpy, I mean, it's possible. Not likely, but possible. Don't know what I'd really cut for it. I think the Tormented Hero actually works in here because of all the bestow we have, and we're in kind of dire need of earlier stuff. Yeah, I don't know about triple Blood Toll Harpy. I'd probably just do 2 of those. I still like the Ray of Dissolution a lot. Instant speed, enchantment removal with life gain. Definitely feels like something this deck wants to do. I've lost to Boulder Fall before, sadly, but admittedly that was early on. Alright, hate the Wild Celebrants. Okay. Good deck. Pretty solid. I'd rate it just based on first glance. It looks like it's about a 7, 7.5. Shortcomings of this deck. There are really no super bangy cards in here. Most of the stuff in here is just a wee bit underwhelming, but the good news is we have a lot of value. So, what's weak in bomminess, we make up for in value, which I like. You need one or the other. So, let's take the Scholar, Ray, that thing. This is 21, and Double Sentry. Okay, so this is 23. The last cards that I could at least think about are maybe like Warden and Burnished Heart, which are both, pretty playable. And once again, I could see the argument for Burnished Heart in here, so let me kind of ponder that for a second. I could perhaps run it over another one of these Blood Toll Harpies, just because I have so much to do, so much mana to use, But do I want some more Blood Toll Harpies? Yeah, that is the question. Let's play a Burnished Heart over one of the Harpies, I think. Unless there's some other weak link I'm not looking at. I think I just like Burnished Heart a lot. Good spell. Not evasive like Blood Toll Harpy, but it doesn't punish our life totals like these double Read the Bones will. And it potentially ramps us up to the 7 we're going to need for this, the 7 we'd like to have for that, the 6. I mean, if you take a look at what our bestow costs are, we actually are a fairly expensive deck. So I think this is actually correct, running it like this. Obviously a very strange curve, but these kind of curves, I don't know, have sort of been working for me. I admit, it's a little bit slow, but the good news is we face the aggro deck and we just bring in an arsenal of good defense. So we're more prepared for the other mid-range decks, which I think is a spot you usually want to be. Okay, so definitely more black than white. Why don't we do the old 10-7? That's the way I like to do it. And we do actually need double white for spear. We need double black too, but I think 10-7 is a reasonable split. Okay. Yeah, I like this deck. I think it's pretty good. Obviously a fairly clunky, but this format tends to be clunky most of the time. And I could see this deck going pretty far. So I'm going to try it like this main deck, and I shall see you round 1.